He gets set to go to work here tonight. Rain delay. Game 3, the Orioles and the Indians. Teams have split the first 2 games. Big news today for the Orioles regarding their young star, Dylan Bundy. He is going to have surgery, as Dr. James McAndrews took a look at that elbow. Tommy John surgery is supposed to be performed tomorrow. We asked Buck Showalter about that this afternoon.
It's not gloom and doom. It's not like he's a vital part of our team right now. We think he's got a chance to be, and the way medicine is nowadays, he'll be fine. I expect him to be pitching next July or August. Knowing him, we know he's going to be very diligent in the rehab, and it's not the it's very normal, I guess, but you take all the precautions that you can, and sometimes it just happens. So he's in great hands. Everybody's in agreement on what needs to be done, and let's get it done and move forward.
Well, definitely one thing that separates Dylan Bundy is his work ethic and mental makeup, and he will certainly put the time in to get himself back on the field. I mean, this is a situation where it's a young arm. I think they're getting to it, going to solve the problem, and so many times you see pitchers come back even better than before.
And for the Orioles, it's a disappointment they're not going to acknowledge, in the sense that you go, as Buck Showalter always does, this is what I got, this is what we're playing with, that's what we're talking about, and that's what we're focused on. I don't think there's any question they, in the long term, looking at it over the winter, they had hoped Dylan Bundy might have an opportunity come up, maybe the second half, to help the ball club. That's not going to be there. You didn't plan on it, and now you don't have it.
That's right, and you move on. I mean, they weren't expecting it. They're in hopes that this surgery goes well, and in a year from now, let's start projecting where Dylan Bundy's going to be.
Yep. We know where Jason Hamill's going to be, out on the mound to make this start, and the Birds on hand along with the fans who have hung through the rain delay. And when we come back, we'll check the lineups and have the start of Game 3. Brooksy will catch it if it gets within distance, I guarantee you. Take a look at our train game time temperature, 82 degrees, humidity at 67. Chance of some more rain as the storms still are around in the area. Train is celebrating the 100th anniversary by offering irresistible financing. It is hard to stop a train. Really hard. Here's the lineup for the Indians, changed with Cabrera, Brack. It'll be Bourne, Cabrera, Kipnis, Swisher, Brantley, and Giambi. Jan Gomes gets the start behind the plate. Chisenhall and Stubbs. You see in this series, Kipnis has continued very hot at the plate.
And there's a scouting report for Jason Hamill tonight. Reverse fortune Jason's had some trouble here at home this year, and in his career 0-3 with a 7.71 earned run average against the Indians. So he's hoping to turn that around. I'll tell you what, if his last start is any indication, he will, and he wants to keep building off that last start. He pitched as well as I've seen him pitch this year, had great command of his fastball, and he was getting up there in mid-90s range, 95 miles an hour, but he was able to locate that pitch, and that led to some good secondary success. He has the ability to be consistent with all of his off-speed pitches, and he's going to need that tonight against this Indians offense.
So Hamill comes on, coming off the game against Toronto. He's been non-decisioned in his last 2 against the Angels in Toronto. 6 innings in each of those ball games, a combined 11 runs on 8 hits in 12 innings in the last 2 starts for the 30-year-old Jason Hamill. The Indians, who have won 5 of their last 7, will have Michael Bourne in that leadoff spot. He's had only 1 hit and 10 at-bats so far in this series, has picked up a run. So by keeping him off base, the Orioles have been able to nullify a lot of the speed. And he will take the pitch up high for a ball, and we are underway. So an hour and 6-minute rain delay for the start of this ball game, with the showers coming through. Fouled away, and a 1-ball 1-strike count on Bourne.
Of course, Jason Hamill recovered from the stomach virus that he had. He hit one of his starts and able to bounce back in Toronto, and he was strong and fresh and had a lot of life in that arm.
And a comebacker. Bourne is retired, and he gets the leadoff man.
And here's a look at the defense behind Hamill tonight. McLeod, Jones, and Markakis once again in the outfield. Gold Glover J.J. Hardy at short. Casilla making his 2nd consecutive start at second base. Machado and Davis on the corners, with Matt Wieters doing the catching.
And Hamill will face Cabrera, who gets back into the lineup. Asdrubal Cabrera, really great shortstop who had been missing from this lineup. John McDonald reassigned today, and Terry Francona, the skipper of the Indians, saying that they really hated to have McDonald have to go down, but he said there's no doubt he'll land on his feet. They really like him as a player and as a teammate, but it's the numbers game.
Sure is.
And Cabrera's back and ready to play. Cabrera with the .254 batting average will take the pitch up high for a ball. He is the switch hitting shortstop for this ball club. Cabrera hitting .270 right-handed, .244 left-handed. He's had 4 of his 5 home runs from this side of the plate. That's going to go to short. Hardy will play it on the skimming hop and get the out.
Well, Jason Hamill's got all the pitches, and deep inside the number shows you right here. He got that fastball. He throws it 62% of the time, .298 batting average off that. But a real good slider, throws it 21% of the time, and the curveball and the change to go along with it. And if he has command of that fastball, that slider becomes really effective down in the zone. Can get a lot of swing and misses.
A lot of left-handers will face him tonight. Lefties .284, 9 home runs. Right-handers .277, 6 home runs. And the pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Take a look at Kipnis, 7-game hit streak. He's gone 3 for 6, a homer and 2 RBIs in this series. And he will pop that one up to left field. Nate McLeod got it lined up. And a clean inning for Hamill. That's the way to start the ball game. So after the hour, 6-minute rain delay, we're underway in a 1-2-3 inning. extend the games of home runs. They've had at least one in 13 consecutive ball games. Take a look at the lineup that's going to try and do that. Brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Markakis, Machado, and Jones. Davis, Wieters, and Hardy. McLeod, Valencia in the DH role. And Alexei Casilla back in. Chris Davis this series. Home run, 2 RBIs.
And here's a scouting report for Scott Kazmir tonight. He's on the comeback trail. Kind of fell off the map after the 2010 season. Pitched in the Atlantic League last year and winter ball. Got his fastball back and earned a spot, an invite actually to the Indians camp, and won the 5th spot as a starter. He regained his velocity. That's the key. He works his fastball now in the low 90s, but has the potential to get up to 94, 95, but has had some troubles on the road. 0-4 with a 6.53.
And Nick Markakis will get to lead it off against him.
Here's his numbers on the year. This will be his 13th start, 4-4 with a 5.37 earned run average. Still capable of getting the strikeout, 62 on the season. Those lefties, 208.
And Nick Markakis takes it inside. Of all the Oriole hitters, Kazmir faces the toughest one, at least in the numbers lifetime, against him. Nick with that 476 average and 2 home runs lifetime off Scott Kazmir. And the left-hander will hit the outside corner with it. A 1-ball, 2-strike count. The Orioles against left-handed starters now have improved to 12-8 on the year. Good number. And they're hitting .262 against lefties, 6th highest average in the league against them. That'll go to left field. Brantley going back at the warning track with room, and he's got it. Markakis on the fly ball left. So the Orioles will try and continue a trend that's been going upward and important, because last year they struggled against left-handers.
Yeah, and they are doing very well this season. .262 batting average, 6th in the American League. 25 home runs against lefties. That's tied for 4th in the American League. .438 slugging percentage is 2nd. Chris Davis, .287 with 6 home runs. And Danny Valencia, really been a nice pickup, .367 against lefties.
Manny Machado will foul that one off. Manny, one of only 3 major league players to have put up 100 or more hits this season. Cabrera's got 109 and Machado 107. They are 1 and 2 in the American League. That ball will be popped up to second base. Kipnis is there. He puts it away. 2 down.
Oh, and here's a look at the Indians defense behind Kazmir. Brantley in left, Bourne in center, Stubbs over in right. Cabrera fresh off the disabled list back at shortstop. Kipnis at second. Chisenhall at third. Swisher over at first. And Yan Gomes getting the start behind the plate. Santana probably recovering from the bruised knee.
And a lot of games in front of them. They play here tomorrow night, then they go to Chicago for a doubleheader the next day. And Terry Francona was saying before the ball game, I mean, one, he did had a tough night last night, but the other, he said, I got to get him off one of these days. So I decided today he'll play again tomorrow probably, and then one game of the doubleheader, and then the rest of that series against Chicago. A lot of games, short time frame, tough for managers to figure out what to do with that, because you got to get your starters out, especially catchers, at least once in a while. Here is Adam Jones, and Jones will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. Adam 0-2. 3-game hit streak. He's had a 3 for 7 in this series against Scott Kazmir. Only 4 at-bats against the left-hander, 1 for 4. 29-year-old with the 0-2 delivery, foul back. Kazmir's a really great story. I mean, here's a guy who he won a strikeout title 2007, 23 years old, 239 Ks, one of the youngest to do it. And then all of a sudden it all fell off the table for him and ended up being released by the Angels back in 2011. And as Mike said, he was playing independent baseball for the last couple of years. The invite to the Cleveland camp this season, and he made the ball club, and here he is starting. Yeah,
pretty interesting story, because he talked about not really knowing what he was doing. He was just a young arm. He made it to the big leagues early, just had that power fastball, and he was blowing it by people. Well, after being sent down and losing that velocity, he found it again in the minor leagues.
As you said, though, he's got it back, and he has a clean inning to start the ball game out for the Indians. 1 complete, no score. Time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Jason Hamill back out on the mound, but both these pitchers have such distinct numbers home and road. Hamill with that 1-3 mark here, an ERA that's over 7, and a 6-1 record on the road, and an ERA just over 4. Then you go to Kazmir, and he's got the same problem. Kazmir, home and road, a different pitcher, 4-0 at home, ERA of 4.2 on the road, 0-4 with an ERA of 6.5. Go figure.
Has the makings of a very interesting game.
Yes, it does. And both these pitchers get a lot of run support. Both are fly ball pitchers with a tendency to give up home runs. So that means the final score will be 1-0, and somebody will have a complete game shutout. There is Scott Kazmir on the bench, the Indians starter. Nick Swisher at the plate. Swisher will take it up high. Switch hitters had a 2 for 7, an RBI in the series, getting back into action on Sunday and back into the lineup with the Indians as Terry Francona starts to get some of his people back. Swisher, Cabrera. Their closer, Perez, is going to be back tomorrow and will be available for the final game of this series. So they will have their closer back for tomorrow's game. 3 ball, 1 strike delivery on the way, and the ball put in the air to center. Jones backing up at the warning track. Got it. One away. Open up our Major League Notebook. Take a look at our East Winds page. Day games today. Blue Jays defeated the Rays 3-0. Dickey, complete game, no runs, 2 hits, 6 strikeouts. The Red Sox continue to win. They beat the Rockies. John Lackey, 2 runs, 8 hits over 7. Shane Victorino, the 3 for 4, double RBI, 2 runs, 12 Ks for Lackey. And Andy Pettit's making a start tonight. Right now they have a 4-1 lead over Texas. Last 8 starts, 2-4 with a 5.5 ERA and a 2.90 opponent batting average. But Texas, I said that backwards. I think Texas has the 4-1 lead over the Yankees in their ball game tonight. So Pettit again giving up some runs. Are in the 4th inning of that ball game. And here is Michael Brantley. Brantley will take the pitch. Jason Hamill gets ahead of him. 2 strikes.
Well, here early in the ball game, home plate umpire Ted Barrett kind of opening up the edges of the plate. Surprised Matt Wieters isn't trying to expand a little bit, see how far off he can get.
0-2 delivery to Brantley. That will be taken inside. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Brantley with a 2 for 7, lifetime off Hamill. Batting in the number 5 spot with Giambi behind him. Showalter with the really look on his face as to that last call. Didn't bother Hamill. He got him right there for the strikeout, his first. 2 down.
Boy, that's a great pitch right there. Nissan Pitch Track will show it. 94 with some movement down and away. Really set it up well with the slider before that down and in. Nice job of pitching by Jason Hamill. Good call by Matt Wieters.
So at 2 down, Giambi coming up. Pretty sunset sky. As you see, still a lot of clouds around in the area, but pleasant enough night. Temperature dropped down about 10 degrees after the showers went through. Came in around 6 o'clock. Jason Giambi, the veteran, with the 6 home runs, DHing, and will take the pitch up high for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike count on Giambi. Another veteran player back in the lineup. Terry Francona trying to put some long ball into the DH role. 1-1 delivery, fouled the other way, 1-2.
Well, one of the things we talked about and noticed with Jason Hamill in his last start, the ability to locate the fastball, velocity very good in the mid-90s, and he's doing a nice job here at the start of this ball game, really working the edges of the plate.
Ahead on the count here, 1-2, and that'll be outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count. Overall for Hamill here in this ballpark in his career, his record at Camden Yards is 5-7. With an ERA of 5.01. As we said, that has gone up, that ERA this year at home. This is his 20th start in this ballpark. Down the line in left field, McLaughlin will move over, but is not going to have a play. And it'll stay at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Giambi. Giambi getting the opportunity, another non-roster invitee. moved up to the Major League roster on the 25th of March. Liked what they saw, obviously, in spring training. Does bring the long ball to the game. 2-2 delivery and a swing and a miss. Foul tip, says the ump, into the mitt. 2 strikeouts for Hamels, 6 in a row retired. The Orioles, Davis, Wieters, and Hardy coming up. Baseball watching this great powerful swing last night. 28th home run, establishing a new team record for home runs in the month of June. Brady Anderson held the mark, 27 in 1996. The new mark set by Chris Davis, who leads the majors. Chris Tillman last night, 7 innings, the 10th time an Orioles starter has gone 7 or more innings, and only the 10th. And Alexei Casilla last night with that big blast, his first home run since August of last year. The only home run he had last year off the same pitcher, Masterson, whom he got the home run off last night. Alexei Casilla, 2 home runs, 498 at bats, and both off the same pitcher.
Unbelievable.
It is, isn't it?
What a great game.
That's why he was put in the lineup, and he delivered. A comebacker off the leg, and the play will be made. Kipnis, and Kazmir appears to be all right, and Davis is retired. Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game is Jim Annany from Dundalk. Jim has already won $500 for being selected. You get another $100 for every Orioles hit and an extra $500 for any Orioles home run in the 5th inning. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. Jim, good luck. A 1-4-3 in the putout against Davis. Here's Matt Wieters. Orioles catcher, the 1 for 5, a home run here in the series. Wieters at .228 on the year, 15 doubles, 10 home runs, extra base hits. Kazmir with the 0-1 delivery to him, and Wieters a ground ball to short. There's Cabrera, so he makes his first play since returning here in this game.
Well, we've talked about Scott Kazmir's fastball, and look at the average against his fastball. In April, it was way up to 364, but certainly great improvement. Now, he throws a 4-seamer, with a 2-seamer with some sink. Seen a couple ground balls. He also has a cutter. But here in June, 263 average off his fastball. And of course, the Indians love to see that. They kind of took a chance on Kazmir in spring training. And they would love to see him get back to that form he had when he was with Tampa.
2 down, nobody on. Here's Hardy. JJ with a 1 for 7 in the series, hitting at .264 on the year. And the pitch will be taken outside for a ball. 2 down, bases empty. Hardy with a 243 off the left-handers. 1-1 delivery. And that will be taken inside. Kazmir coming off a win against Minnesota. 1 run, 5 hits, 7 innings. He has picked up 1 win, 2 losses, 1 no decision his last 5 starts. That one out in front of, and will foul it almost right straight back. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Well, Scott Kazmir coming up, known for his dominant fastball. You talk about the strikeout records that he has, and he continues to be a pretty dominant strikeout pitcher. He's averaging about 9 a game. So he has that live fastball, but you saw a nice little changeup right there. He has a curve. Slider is his probably best out pitch, and you're going to see that through the course of this ball game. When he gets ahead early, he'll try to get some swing and misses, both lefties and righties, with the slider.
94-mile-an-hour fastball to take the count to 3-2. Hardy fouls that one back. We'll keep it going. You got to want it bad when you do what Kazmir did, and you got to believe in yourself getting there. 14 starts in the Atlantic League. He played for Sugarland, and then pitched for Puerto Rican Winter League. Went 0-2 there. Stayed with it. Foul back again. Hardy staying with it and keeping the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kazmir against the Orioles. Of course, with Tampa Bay, they saw a lot of him. He's 2-3 here in this ballpark here at Camden Yards, along with a 5-5 lifetime record against the Orioles. He hasn't faced them since August of 2010. 3rd foul ball by Hardy on a 3-2 count.
He's working that fastball all over the perimeter, and J.J. Hardy fighting him off, keeping this at bat alive.
Here's the 3-2 delivery again, and he gets the chopper to second base. This time Kipnis. He'll make the flip, and 6 in a row retired by Kazmir. Same true for Hamill. Pitchers dominate for the first couple innings of this ball game. Is brought to you by PNC Bank, for the achiever in you, and by Mercedes-Benz, located on the web at MBUSA.com. Hour and 6-minute rain delay here at the ballpark tonight for this game 3. No score at the end of 2. Hamill with a couple of strikeouts so far gets Gomes, Chisenhall, and Stubbs, bottom third of the order. Yan Gomes doing the catching for the Indians tonight. 25-year-old, born in Brazil, now lives in Tennessee. Attended University of Tennessee for a couple of years. Played college baseball there. This is his 4th professional season. He came over from Toronto with Mike Aviles in the Ismael Rogers trade. 0-1 delivery on the way, and that's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Hamill, like most of the Oriole pitchers, will work to be efficient here. Try and keep that pitch count down. Get deeper into the ball games. As we said, 6 innings in each of his last 2 starts. Nick Markakis in right. Near the wall. Plenty of room, and he's gone. One away. One lucky fan is going to win the chance to challenge Adam Jones to a competition of their choice. Part of Masson's Adam Jones Fan Challenge, presented by Care First. Head over to facebook.com/Masson Orioles and vote for your favorite finalist video by June 30. Lonnie Chisenhall. If he hadn't been playing baseball with that fine name, would have been a country western singer. Lonnie Chisenhall. He's got a 3-game hit streak, 1 for 4 in the series. He's going to get a lot more time now playing at third base. And they hope this young player will be their third baseman not just for today but in the future.
Yeah, you see the last 3 games hitting 400, 4 for 10 with a double in there.
That's what they've been waiting for, to get that bat going. Here's the 0-2 delivery, and Chisenhall will take the pitch outside for a ball. Indians have won 5 of their last 7. They are 3.5 games behind in the Central Division. As Skipper's Ball Club playing some good baseball. That'll be a spinner to short, played by Hardy. 2 down. Tomorrow, the first 10,000 fans 15 and over at the 7:05 game with the Indians are going to get that Birdland beach towel presented by Visit Sarasota County. Show your colors at the beach, the pool, all summer long with this great beach towel. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or go to Orioles.com. Hamill trying to work his way through the lineup. Here is Stubbs, 2 down. Stubbs has had 4 hits and 14 at bats off Hamill, and 2 of the 4 have been home runs.
Well, there are a lot of guys in this Indians lineup that have pretty good numbers off Jason Hamill, but he is in command of all of his pitches here in the early going of this ball game. So they're certainly going to have to make adjustments to what he's offering them right now. His fastball is live. He's able to locate it, and we've seen some really good off-speed pitches.
Drew Stubbs will take the pitch outside. We told you both of these pitchers can give up the long ball. Hamill has surrendered 15 homers, 9 to lefties. Kazmir on the other side has given up 13, 12 to right-handers. I mean, that's another number that for Kazmir just goes from right to left extreme. The left-handers hitting 208 off him, and right-handers 324.
Right.
As they say, that is by the book. But the book, as far as Kazmir concerned, is not too good. And the pitch is taken inside. Hamill just missing there, 3-2.
It's a real good fastball, 94 with some movement, great sink action. I think Chisenhall just took it, Stubbs took it because he knew he couldn't get to it. But Hamill didn't get that call.
And the 3-2 delivery will be a chopper again to short. Hamill getting his share of ground balls for a fly ball pitcher. He's retired the first 9 faced in the ball game. And he'll talk about the strike zone with the home-plate umpire Ted Barrett. Ted, love you. Good man, good calls, good umpire. Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Yeah, Baltimore Orioles offense leading the way in slugging percentage in American League teams. 455. Red Sox just behind them at 445. Of course, American League East, Tampa Bay in there as well. American League average at 408. But these guys are hitting home runs and doubles, really setting the pace in all of the American League.
And here is Nate McLouth, who will lead it off against Kazmir. McLouth, Valencia, and Casilla due up as we go to the bottom of the third inning. And McLouth will take it outside.
Nate McLouth, look, April 1st through May 15th. Deep inside the numbers tells us he wasn't very aggressive and not committing to the first pitch. Strikes 206. But I'll tell you what, from then on, 325 batting average.
And he will ground out to start the inning on a couple of pitches. But Showalter showing some faith in Nate McLouth here as he continues to pick up starts against left-handers because he's picked the numbers up against them.
Oh, exactly. He's putting together some quality at bats, and Buck Showalter certainly recognizes that.
So one down, and that will bring up Valencia, designated hitter. He's had only one at bat in this series and 0 for 1. We're talking about Danny's numbers as the DH of all the Orioles. I think 11 now have been used as designated hitters by the O's. Danny has put up the best overall numbers for the Orioles as a DH, hitting 265, 4 home runs, 7 RBIs. 0-1 delivery to him and another ground ball. What's going on here tonight? You got 2 fly-ball pitchers who are getting their outs in the ground. And Valencia is retired, 2 away. Here's Casilla, celebrated last night. Both he and Chris Davis, same category, home run hitters. 5th home run since 2009. And I mean, as Nick Markakis said before the game tonight around the batting cage, he got it.
He did.
I mean, he hit it.
Yeah, he hammered that ball. Now, Casilla's got some strength. And if they wanted him to hit home runs, I mean, he could hit more home runs. Obviously, the average might suffer a little bit. But he's a strong guy.
Jim Pressey was telling me they've worked on getting his hands down. He used to have his hands higher. They've dropped the hands down a little bit and want him to get cocked faster. Rather than that hands down, back with the bat, and then swing, they want just back and swing. And they think he's got legitimate chance to be an extra base hitter, pick up the doubles. Who said they're fly ball pitchers? Casilla retired, so each pitcher has gone through the order, retiring all 9 faced, and at the end of 3, no score. Swing! Bada, bada, bada. Swing! Never mind. Take a look here. Jeff Locke, Pittsburgh this season, 7-1, 2.06 ERA, an outstanding season with Pittsburgh. Off to a great start. He's undefeated in his last 15 going back to last year. For Matt Harvey in New York, right now the best whip in Major League Baseball and the lowest batting average. Max Scherzer of Detroit, 11 wins this season. He leads everybody in wins. 5 others have 10 wins. We note that because you got 6 pitchers 10 or more wins this seaon, how many 20-game winners will you end up with this year? Well, there haven't been many. There were only 4 last year. Weaver, Price, Gonzalez, and Dickey. All were 20-game winners. Here is Bourne grounding out to start the inning. He's 0 for 2 with a couple of ground ball outs. One away, 4th inning. Voting winding down for the All-Star game. Last chance to vote is going to be July 4. So get online and vote. You can help out Davis, Hardy, Jones, Markakis, all with a chance to start. Machado, Wieters, Nate McLouth under consideration to make the All-Star team, and appropriately so. And if you do it vote-wise, 35 times or more, you're eligible for the All-Star jersey autographed by the Orioles All-Stars. You got to do it by July 4. Go online, Orioles.com/vote orange.
A lot of All-Stars out there.
Swing! And the pitch is a bounce to Cabrera. It hit him. Wow. All right. So there's the first base runner. Jason Hamill, that's the 6th hit batter this year by Hamill. No argument about it.
No, big breaking ball just catches him on his foot. Actually, Cabrera makes the call here. Hit the dirt.
Hit the dirt first.
Yeah, it did.
So Cabrera becomes the first base runner. That one bounced and hit his foot. Here's Jason Kipnis now, 1 down, 1 on. And Hamill's pitch gets it in there for the strike. See Kipnis's numbers on the season. He's now had a 3 for 7 here in this series. Cabrera, short lead over there at first, being held by Davis. And a toss over to get him back to the bag. Cabrera had been on the DL with that strained right quad, so this is his first game back. You got to believe he's not going to run.
Yeah, you wouldn't think he'd push it, but of course he wouldn't be in the lineup if it wasn't pretty close to 100%.
0-1 count. Kipnis will take it up high. And 1-1 from Jason Hamill. Indians will try and make a run, obviously, at the division title and or a wild card spot. They think they've got enough. Terry Francona knows if they can stay deep, they've got a chance to get a little bit of help in the way maybe of a trade or acquisition if needed, if they're close enough later in the month of July. Won't be easy, but they've done a good job. We're almost halfway through, believe it or not, folks. Detroit leading the Indians by 3.5, and we're closing in this weekend on the halfway point of the Major League season.
Yep.
2 ball, 1 strike count. Kipnis. 2-2.
Yeah, and there are so many teams, you know, you get through this month of June and then into July, and they start thinking, are we in a good position to possibly make a deal before the deadline and get themselves over the hump? And actually both managers right there obviously well aware that they're in great positions right now, and maybe 1 or 2 players could get them over the hump. I think Terry Francona's team is loaded with some good veteran players that have been there before into the postseason. So you've got good young players around them as well. Kipnis up the middle is one of them. So learning from the veteran players, but you know, there is an opportunity to make a move and really make a charge there in the Central.
This is when all the scouts are out in force, putting some numbers together in their scouting reports for the ball clubs. End of July is the trading deadline. 2 ball, 2 strike delivery on the way to Kipnis. The Orioles have talked about getting some pitching. The rumor mills are churning. San Diego's been one of the ball clubs that has been mentioned in rumors. Edison Volquez, who's not having a particularly good year with them. Anthony Bass, who is a minor league pitcher whom they really like. 2 names have been discussed, with perhaps Arrieta going the other way with another player or 2. If the Orioles were willing to take a chance on that. Runner goes. Ball put up in the air. Left center field. That's in the gap. Nobody's going to get it. Off the wall. Goodbye home run. Kipnis gets his 2nd home run of this series and his 4th RBI in the 3 ball games. And Cleveland's got a 2-0 lead.
Kipnis showing some great opposite field strength. Both of his home runs in this series the other way. I'll take a look at it right here. This fastball Just about center cut. He stays through it with the runner in motion. And just drives it out into the Orioles bullpen.
So one of the hottest hitters in the game stays that way. Kipnis has got 11 home runs, 45 RBIs. And the Tigers take a 2-0 lead on the 16th home run. Indians, rather, get the lead here, and the 16th home run surrendered by Hamill. And here's Swisher, will take the pitch for a strike on the outside corner. And we'll discuss it with Ted Barrett.
Yeah, Swisher didn't like that call. And we'd seen those couple fastballs earlier in the ball game called just off the plate. Hamill gets that one there.
That's the first hit of the ball game. Ball put up in the air to center. Adam Jones back under it. He's got it, and there are 2 down. And this moment in baseball history is brought to you by Volkswagen. In 1944, during the war, the 3 New York teams, the Giants, the Yankees, and the Dodgers, played against one another all at the same time. They took 2 innings off in a 6-inning ball game, switching positions on the field. The score, you see, the Dodgers 5, the Yankees 1, the Giants nothing. And in 1970, Frank Robinson hit 2 grand slams in the same game, the 7th major leaguer to have the 2 bases full homers in one game. Number 20 for the Orioles, Frank Robinson. By the way, that game at the Polo Grounds in New York in 1944 was played to raise money for the war effort, for war bonds. That's why those teams got together, and they had over 50,000 at the Polo Grounds for that ball game. Volkswagen's Springtoberfest events going on now. Visit VWDealer.com today. Ground ball to second base, handled by Casilla. Brantley is retired, but the home run, the one hit of the game, Kipnis has it, his 11th of the year, and the Indians have the lead. PNC Bank for the achiever in you.
Buck Britton been getting all kinds of airtime this season. The reason why, he's been swinging in a 21-game hit streak, 350 batting average, a home run, 9 RBIs, 7 runs scored during that streak. Hit this season, flirting with 300, a 299, 4 homers, and 20 RBI in 40 games. 3rd longest hit streak in franchise history. Buck Britton, a very versatile player as well. Play infield positions and outfield. And Buck Showalter well aware of what he's doing in Norfolk.
Nick Markakis goes after the first pitch. Nick flied out to left. His first time up. Scott Kazmir with a couple of runs to work with. This ball game starting the same way it did last night. Justin Masterson retired the first 12. Did not give up a hit till the 5th inning. And then the Orioles came away with that big 7th inning. 5 runs, 3 hits in the inning with the Davis and Casilla home runs, and went on to win it. Markakis with a couple of hits and 9 at bats so far in the series. 0-2 count on him. Outfield shaded around towards left. And the 0-2 delivery. And it'll be taken a little bit off and down low. 1 ball, 2 strike count.
Look at Kazmir right there, kind of focusing in.
And a great pitch. Tag will be put on just in case. Strikeout number 2.
That's that slider we had talked about earlier. He's got this in his bag of tricks too to go along with that fastball, and he spikes this slider. Nick Markakis, very rarely do you see him swinging a ball in the dirt, so it must have been a pretty good one.
And Manny Machado. Machado popped out his first time up. And Manny will foul that one off the other way. Let's take a look at our AT&T Mobility Trivia Fact. Manny Machado, the 35 doubles, tied for most before the All-Star break since 1997 with Ordonez and Sweeney in the doubles department. 0-1 count on him. And that ground ball, pitcher's got to cover. Swisher got it. The play. Got him! Whoa, and there's going to be an argument on that one. Swisher with Kazmir coming over. Machado with a head-first dive into the bag. And right away, Wayne Kirby, first base coach, went after the first base umpire, Will Little. He'll be replaced by the manager.
Well, definitely. I mean, it appeared to be a bad call. You don't see Wayne Kirby arguing calls at first base very often. Manny Machado showed some frustration as well. Take a look at it here. Nick Swisher goes way out of his comfort zone, and Manny's hand in there before the foot. You hear the crowd reaction.
So dangerous, those head-first dives.
Well, they are. That's an ill-advised play for Manny Machado, but he was sniffing out that hit, and it looked like he may have jammed his shoulder pretty good. Hopefully he's okay in that Orioles dugout.
Ted Barrett, home plate umpire, coming out and walking with Buck back towards the dugout. Manny Machado went down under off the bench into the tunnel. We'll hope he's all right and didn't jam that hand.
Yeah, he hit that bag hard. And I don't even know if Buck Showalter's aware that he could possibly be hurt.
So there are 2 down. And that will bring up Adam Jones. Jones, a strikeout victim, his first time up. And a chopper. Kazmir gets the comebacker, guns it over, and gets the out. So, as happened last night, through the 4th inning, the Orioles do not have a hit. Good news for the Orioles is that Manny Machado has made his way back into the dugout, ready to go back out on the field. Antwerpen Toyota. When Jack says yes, you pay less. At Antwerpen Toyota in Howard County Auto Park. Visit AntwerpenToyota.com today. Showers in the area, but since the ball game started, all good. And a real good pitching matchup. And for Manny Machado back out, looks okay.
Yeah, appears to be okay. Hit hard there at first base. You see the dirt all over his body, but he's moving around okay.
And back to work goes Jason Hamill. Jason Giambi is at the plate. Giambi, a strikeout victim his first time up. Gomes and then Chisenhall due up. 6, 7, 8 in the order. Shift put on against Giambi. Giambi with that big cut. And a 1-ball, 1-strike count.
Well, he was really aggressive with fastballs to Giambi in his first at bat, and that was a nice little changeup right there.
400 and pitch to him is going to be away. Among active players in the home run department, he is third. Up there with Pujols and Alex Rodriguez. Big home run hitter. 2-1 delivery on the way to him, and that'll be foul back the other way. Not much has changed in that swing over the years. It's been an all-power cut and still is.
Yep, sure has. And he's one of the Billy Beane disciples coming up with the Oakland A's, so pretty good on-base percentage along with Nick Swisher as well, so that might be part of the plan in Cleveland.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. Full count to Giambi leading it off here in the 5th inning. 2-1-0 for the Indians and zeros on the board for the Orioles. So the Orioles shut down by the 2 Indian starters through the first 4 innings of last night and tonight. And he'll foul that one away. Count stays 3 balls and 2 strikes on Giambi. Against the Orioles, a .266 lifetime average. 29 home runs against the O's. It's the 161st game Giambi's played against the Orioles. And he will draw the walk. So there's the first walk surrendered by Hamill, and it is a leadoff walk here in the 5th inning. Help paint the park orange on Sunday night. Orioles-Yankees are the ESPN Sunday night game as a reward for showing your Birdland Pride fans who buy tickets at Orioles.com/orange and enter the promo code ORANGE. Will receive a voucher good for the same number of tickets for any future Sunday through Thursday. 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com. Gomes doing the catching, flied out to right field his first time up. And will take the pitch for a strike.
This is a situation here in a ballgame where you might think the team might lay a sacrifice bunt down, but Jason Giambi not running so well after 19 years in the big leagues. So.
And a ground ball, chance for 2. Manny Machado ranging. There's one. Relay Casilla, and they got it. Around the horn they go.
Well, Manny Machado showing good range and no ill effects. And that head first slide at the first, and Casilla with a quick strong arm double play turn. They've looked very good this year out at second base. You know, nobody real stable as far as a consistent player, although Ryan Flaherty played much more. But when Casilla gets in there, both players turn an exceptional double play.
And here's Chisenhall now with the bases empty. Brian Roberts continues his rehab. Had a good ball game with 3 hits, I think, at the ball game.
Yeah, 2 for 4. I heard
or
last.
2 for 4.
Yep.
Yep.
Hit a double, went first to third, so moving around well.
Getting his second game in. 1-0 delivery on the way. That ball will be blooped to short and over Hardy's head for a base hit. So Chisenhall is on, the second hit of the ball game, both for the Indians. That comes with 2 away here in the 5th inning. Orioles saying very little about when Roberts will come back, as they just want to make sure things are going well. But it could be sooner than later for Brian Roberts.
It seems like it. I mean, he put the time in. He was really putting himself through the paces up in Toronto. And when they came back before he went to Norfolk, so trying to do everything at game speed, and there were no ill effects with the hamstring. So he's pushing himself, and he wants to certainly get back and try to help this club as well.
Could be this weekend. And Chen is going to go to rehab, getting ready to go to pitch. So Saturday, next rehab start. Runner on at first, 2 down. And Drew Stubbs will take the pitch. Stubbs grounded out. There is Chen. The Orioles obviously very anxious to get him back deep in that rotation, create some more competition for the starters. 1-0 count.
Add some stability as well.
1-0 delivery on the way. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Stubbs grounding out his first time up. He's had a couple of hits and 7 at bats here in this series, hitting a .240 on the year. Chisenhall, short lead at first. Two teams splitting the ball games in the first two, with Cleveland winning at 5-2 in the opener, and the Orioles coming back with that 6-3 victory in the ball game last night. These two managers have played this series tight to the vest because they figured these games were going to be close, and they have been. 1-1 delivery on the way and just missed inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count.
Yeah, the Indians have certainly had the Orioles number over the last few years. So Buck Showalter, I mean, he doesn't show that he's concerned, but certainly wants his team prepared. This tough Indians lineup, and they've been playing some pretty consistent baseball here recently. And like you had mentioned, you know, they're in a fight. Yep. They want to make it to the postseason as well.
Hamill burns that one by him. And it goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Take a look at the Nissan pitch track. This is a beautiful slider here at the bottom of the zone. 87 miles an hour. It's hard too, and you couple that with his 95-mile-an-hour fastball, it makes it very effective.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 down. Runner not going here, and the pitch outside. The runner will go now. 3-2. The Orioles have not won a series from the Indians since 2006. Teams splitting last year 4 apiece. Orioles will be going to Cleveland for a 3-game stand later on this season. Only times the teams will meet, once here, once there. 3-2. Davis behind the runner who's going, and a ground ball towards third. That's going to be a base hit in the hole. And Chisenhall will easily go to third base since he was running. And with 2 away, the Indians cover the corners here in the 5th inning.
Kind of a seeing eye single right there. Another breaking ball, but this time up in the zone. Certainly not the location Hamill would have wanted. And he just beats that one through the 5-6 hole. You see Chisenhall aggressive base running easily into third base uncontested.
So with 2 down, top of the order, Bourne will get the chance. 0 for 2, 2 ground ball outs, and only 1 for 12 so far in the series. Indians have gone 3 for 15 in the first 2 ball games. They have stranded 16. And Bourne will take the pitch up high for a ball. Bourne is 4 for 16. Lifetime off Hamill. Bourne an even .300 with runners in scoring position on the season. His overall average had been above .300 coming in, but in light of these series numbers, it's dropped down with the 0-2 tonight, down to .298. 1-0 delivery by Hamill, and that's inside 2-0. Hamill with a walk and 2 strikeouts, getting the double play in this inning that helped eliminate the leadoff walk, but the Indians able to get a couple on. There goes the runner from first up the middle. Because he was running, they're going to get an out. Hardy will make the play as the ball was right up the middle, and with the runner going, Hardy was moving over towards second base, and the ball came right to him. Indians 2, Orioles nothing. Tonight, Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game gets 500 for any Orioles home run. Jim Anani's already won 500 tonight. For your chance to be the Maryland Lottery hit a big contestant of the game, play 5-card cash. Go to mdlottery.com/Orioles to enter. Well, I'll tell you one thing, Jim. You picked yourself a pretty good inning here. Davis, Wieters, and Hardy coming up. Summer night here in Baltimore, and a real good crowd on hand for this third game. We'll be right back here tomorrow night for Game 4. 7 o'clock for the ball game. Miguel Gonzalez will be going for the Orioles, and Davis, ball one. Corey Kluber will be on the mound for the Indians. He is 6-4 in the year, and that'll be 6:30 for O's Extra. There's Gonzalez, the new daddy. 1-0 delivery, and Davis will take that for a strike. Chris grounded out 1-4-3 off the pitcher and a comebacker. A couple of hits and 8 at-bats lifetime off Scott Kazmir. 1-1 delivery, and Davis on the big cut.
Challenging Chris Davis with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball up in the zone. That fastball, when it's elevated, it kind of stays flat. So dangerous pitch from Kazmir, especially it's one of the best power hitters in the game.
1 ball, 2 strike count. And that is taken. Kazmir with his 3rd strikeout.
Chris Davis doesn't agree, and I don't think the Nissan pitch track will agree either. This pitch well off the plate. Velocity at 94, but it's a ball. And even the best power hitter can't reach that one.
Got the call even with his catcher moving the glove back in, which usually doesn't happen.
Right.
Kazmir gets the strikeout. That'll bring up Wieters. Matt grounded out his first time up. 264 lefties, 214 off righties. And Wieters will take it inside for a ball. 2 runs, 3 hits for the Indians. They've left 2. The Orioles, 4 eggs on the board. And the pitch will be taken down low and a 2-0 count. Kazmir doesn't walk many. 23 walks surrendered in the 66 innings that he has worked. Ball club has gone 6-6 in his 12 starts. And Wieters will take the pitch outside for a ball. So the first 3-0 count we've seen from Kazmir in the ball game. .3-0 delivery. Wieters taking all the way, and he's on. The Orioles' first base runner. The Orioles won and scored 5 or more runs yesterday. That means you get 50% off your regular menu price online order today at Papa John's. Just enter promo code Orioles5 at papajohns.com when ordering. Valid at participating Baltimore area Papa John's. It's for you tonight. And here's J.J. Hardy. Hardy grounded out his first time up. Kazmir's delivery will be a strike on the outside corner.
Well, couldn't find the command with his fastball against Matt Wieters, and then drops a little change up in there to J.J. Hardy.
Hardy, 243 off lefties coming into the ball game, sees the fastball on that one.
That changeup certainly helped the fastball.
Makes it look 98, doesn't it?
JJ usually doesn't let a fastball pass when it's in on the inner third. Just couldn't quite get to it.
0-2 the count. Swisher playing off the bag at first base. 0-2 delivery. Hardy will pop it up. Catcher didn't see it. Gomes finds it. And Gomes, nice play. He had a late start on that and ended up in the on-deck circle, but he puts it away, and Hardy is retired. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park by picking up the Birdland Summer 6-pack. You get tickets to 6 games of your choice, 2 against either the Yankees or Red Sox, 1 low price, the non-prime prices, primetime games. 888-848-BIRD to go to Orioles.com. Boston with a victory over Colorado today by a score of 5-3. So technically the Orioles are now 3 games behind the Red Sox. Orioles started the day tied with the Yankees for second place. Runner on at first with 2 down. Nate McLouth. McLouth grounded out his first time up.
seeing some inconsistencies right now in the strikes, and that one looked a little bit down. Let Chris Davis get rung up on a pitch well off the plate.
Waiters off first and the 0-1 delivery. Did he go? Nope. McLeod last year hit only 197 against left-handers. This year, coming into the ball game, 263. So we talked about his chances now against left-handers because he has shown Buck Showalter an ability to put some good numbers up for a lefty against lefty. And a swing and a miss on that one. 1-2.
Take a look at Scott Kazmir. Very efficient throughout this ballgame. Just 51 pitches, 11, 12, 7, 7, and 14. Very effective against the best offense in the game.
He's got a 1-ball, 2-strike count here. And a soft throw over. Tom Hamilton, longtime broadcaster with the Indians, is saying Kazmir throws strikes. Says the trouble is when he gets it up, the home runs start coming and the fly balls go deep. 1-2 delivery. That ball put in the air to left center field. Bourne with a great speed gets over there and puts it away. So no runs, no hits, no errors, and one left on base. It is a summer night. Nothing like a nice cold glass of lemon. This 4-game set after an hour and 6-minute rain delay. Ball game underway. Much like last night, Mike, what we're seeing in great pitching.
Sure are. Jason Hamels throwing well. Picked up right where he left off, actually in Toronto. He's got a great fastball command. He just ran into Kipnis, one of the hottest hitters in the game right now, able to go opposite field with the home run, 2-run home run shot. Kazmir has just been remarkable in this ball game. He hasn't made any mistakes, really cutting up this Orioles offense right now, and he's been efficient. He's going to be in here for a while if he keeps pitching the way he has been.
What all pitchers are aware of is the fact that the Orioles are a late inning ball club. I mean, they get runs late, 7th inning on in particular, and it's been a problem for the Indians on the other side. They give up runs late in the ball game. Their bullpen's not been able to shut people down.
Well, there you go. It doesn't take long for the Orioles offense to figure out a pitcher. They'll start putting on some pressure on Kazmir, and like you said, they have incredible numbers from the 7th inning on.
Well, let's see how this one goes. And a bunt shown, pitch taken as Drupal Cabrera at the plate. Hit by a pitch the start of the 4th inning, with Kipnis following him with that 2-run homer, accounting for the runs that are on the board right now. 0-1 delivery, and a big swing and a miss on the fastball that he got by him.
Well, we saw the Orioles in last night's ball game being held down by Masterson. It looked like he was going to throw a perfect game. I mean, he was he had great movement on his sinker. He was breaking bats, and next thing you know, a couple mistakes, and that Orioles offense came to life.
Cabrera with a 1-ball, 2-strike count. First game back for their all-star shortstop. Cabrera, 27 years old, out of Venezuela, and he'll go down swinging. That's strikeout number 3 for Hamill. And that will bring up Kipnis, who's made the difference in this ball game. Our Alexis of Towson driving the game.
Yeah, he was able to hammer a fastball the other way. He had a home run the opposite way earlier in this series. Just one of the hottest hitters in the game right now, bottom line.
And our drive of the game brought to you by Lexus of Towson, Baltimore's #1 Lexus dealer. CY at lexusoftowson.com. He will take that pitch for a strike. First time Kipnis has faced Hamill is in this ball game. 1 for 2 with that homer. And a swing and a miss. Kipnis has now extended his hit streak to 8 games. He continues to run off a streak, then he'll go a night without, and then he'll start up, get another streak going. 0-2 count. And we'll take the pitch up high. Kipnis among the American League leaders in stolen bases. He's tied for 4th, tied for 7th, 3 triples, and his on base plus slugging percentage is 10th in the American League. 1-2 delivery to him, and did it hit him? He limps away. Francona's up on the top step. There was no indication he'd been hit by a pitch. He may have just injured himself there without being hit.
Well, let's take a look. Hard slider down and in. Typical pitch. Pitcher trying to throw it off the back foot, but that looked like it caught him on the top of that back foot.
No argument by anybody on the Indian side that he was hit by a pitch. Flexing the left leg.
Looking for some shoe polish on the ball.
Yeah. So Kipnis taking the position. He got hit on the foot, I guess, and Francona talking about it, but not going to be a heavy argument.
All right, on camera, you can certainly tell that.
Oh yeah,
it skims across the top of his foot.
Bit of tie. That's right. So the Orioles get the break on that one, as it did clearly hit the top of the shoe. But Kipnis will stay in and hit.
I guess when you're a hot hitter, you don't want to argue.
That's right.
You want to stay in there and try to get a hit.
2-2 delivery on the way, especially when you're hitting home runs. Your manager's not going to come out and be highly exclamatory about wanting you on hit by a pitch. But Terry Francona just let it go. There's Mark Reynolds on the bench tonight. 3-ball, 2-strike delivery to him, and fouls it back. 1 down, nobody on here in the 6th inning. Hamill at 81 pitches thrown through 5 1/3. 3-2 delivery on the way, and a ground ball to first base. Davis on the backhand. 2 down. Celebrate summer at Oriole Park. Pick up the Birdland Summer 6-pack. You get a ticket to 6 games of your choice. 2 against either the Yankees or Red Sox. 1 low price. Non-prime prices, primetime games. 888-848-BIRD. Orioles.com for details. Two away. Here's Nick Swisher. A couple of fly balls to center field. Swisher now with a 2 for 9 and an RBI in the series. And we'll take the pitch for a strike. Swisher, here at Camden Yards, a .255 lifetime batting average in this ballpark. And he's hit 18 home runs here at Camden Yards. A lot of at-bats, of course, playing with the Yankees.
That's why he gets booed every time he comes to the plate.
Every time. 0-2 count with 2 down. Infield shift on, and Swisher will take it up high. 1-2. Jason Hamill trying to get his first win in his career against the Cleveland Indians. 7 previous starts, 0-3, ERA of 6.2. 1-2 delivery. Swisher fouls it away. The only teams that Hamill does not have a win against: the Indians, the Rangers, and he's 0-1 against Texas, and the Orioles. 0-4 against the Orioles. He doesn't have to worry about that one, at least for the moment.
Well, the Orioles have a great offense. How do you beat them, right?
Here's the 1-2 delivery on the way. Oh, mercy. Just tied him up with that one. And Swisher standing there still waiting for the pitch to arrive at the plate. Trouble is, it's already gone by. 2-0 Indians. The finale of this 4-game set, Miguel Gonzalez on the mound for the Orioles. Corey Kluber will make the start for the Indians. Our coverage, Masson 2 HD, 6:30 O's Extra, presented by Geico, followed by our game at 7. All the access you need right here on Masson.
Yeah, well, Miguel Gonzalez has been red hot for the Orioles. See that earned run average at 3.75. But so has Kluber. Very hot here recently for the Indians. Should be another great matchup.
We have seen some pretty good pitching here in this series. We're in the bottom half of the 6th inning. Danny Valencia will take it for a strike. Grounded out his first time up. Casilla, and then the top of the order, Markakis against Kazmir. 54 pitches. And we'll drop that one inside. A 2-ball, 1-strike count.
Certainly the efficiency you want to see out of a starting pitcher. The Orioles really haven't had any threat against Kazmir to this point.
He has worked 7 innings in 2 ball games this year, including the last outing against Minnesota. That's as deep as he has gone into a ball game. He was 0-1 in April, 3-1 in May, and here in June a win and 2 losses. 3-ball, 1-strike delivery on the way, and the ball's popped up in the air to right field. Stubbs. Valencia's retired, 1 away. Good seats still remain for each game in the upcoming Orioles-Yankees weekend series that they won't last long. We hope you'll get yours and get out for these pivotal games against another AL East opponent. Get your tickets in advance and save 888-848-BIRD or Orioles.com, or you can go to Orioles.com/orange for a special ticket offer for Sunday night's primetime finale. Here is Alexei Casilla. Ground ball to short as Drupal Cabrera.
And just another ground ball. Getting his ground balls. Seen a couple fly balls here recently, so that tells you that his fastball is getting elevated a little bit. But get it down to Casilla right there.
Had 5 balls that have been up in the air for outs in the ball game, and 3 of those been pop-ups. Here's Nick Markakis. Nick at the top of the order against the left-hander. He has flied out and struck out. Nick with that big .476 average against Kazmir coming in. And the overhand pitch is in there for a strike. Ted Barrett on the plate tonight with his crew. Will Little, Scott Berry, Mike DeMuro. 0-1 delivery is up high for a ball. Kazmir with a walk and 3 strikeouts. Hamill with a walk and 4 strikeouts in the game. One ball, 1 strike delivery. And that'll be outside bounced. And 2-1. Only runs in the ball game. Kipnis. The home run is 11th in the 4th inning. 2 RBI homer that came with 1 away after Cabrera had been hit by a pitch. Other 2 hits of singles for the Indians. Mercy. And a 2-ball, 2-strike count.
Pretty good fastball right there at 94 miles an hour. Showing great velocity here in the middle of this ball game. That ball was just very well located as well, right in under the hands of Nick Markakis.
Here's the 2-2 delivery on the way. And Scott Kazmir is pitching a no-hitter through 6 innings. The only base runner. Wieters picked up a walk in the 5th.
It's Kipnis staying red hot. Really the only damage done today. It's a 2-run home run in the 4th. Kazmir has been red hot. He gets Jones and Davis on a punch out. Hamill pitching very well as well. Giambi goes down. Cabrera goes down. Remember, Geico saving people money on more than just car insurance. Here's your starting pitcher comparison. Kazmir dealing right now. No hits against this Orioles offense. Jason Hamill pitching very well. Also 3 hits, but just that 2-run home run. Both pitchers 1 base on ball and 4 strikeouts.
So it gets real interesting as we go to the 7th inning. Michael Brantley will lead it off. Brantley, Giambi, and Gomes due up. Brantley's 0 for 2. He has struck out and grounded out. And he will take the pitch outside, showing a little bunt there, trying to move Machado in a little bit. Brantley with a couple of hits, 9 at bats, 1 home run, and 5 RBIs so far in the 3 games. Hitting at .272. Brantley will put that one up in the air, not deep. Plenty of time for Markakis to come in. And he'll put it away. 1 down, 7th inning. Swing for the fences with the new Home Run Derby mobile game from MLB.com. Play as one of the real Home Run Derby participants from the past 3 seasons in arcade mode or derby mode creates the authentic Home Run Derby tournament experience. Available on iPhone, iPad. Download MLB.com's Home Run Derby for free today. Giambi a walk, and he is struck out. Giambi's drawn the only walk. Surrendered by Jason Hamill in the ball game. Hamill hits the 90 pitch mark, and the pitch will be taken down low. Hamill has worked 8 innings. The ball game against Washington, where he gave up only 2 runs, 8 hits, and 8. That is his longest outing of the season.
Well, I think you certainly have to feel good about this outing by Jason Hamill as well. Back-to-back good performances. He's had great command of his fastball once again.
Giambi will take that one for a base hit. Center field, Jones to get it. Jason Giambi's on. A 1-out single here in the 7th inning. This copyrighted telecast presented by authority of the Orioles may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Orioles. So with 1 away, a runner on at first base. Gomes, the catcher, is hit into a double play, and he is flied out to right field. One down. Here's your wake-up call.
And that's one thing we haven't seen here recently from Jason Hamill. Early on the season, we'd lose a lot of fastballs to that arm side, up and in, or up and away to a lefty. And he can use that one as a purpose pitch maybe and open up that outside corner, possibly down in the zone, try to get a ground ball here in this situation.
1-0 the count, short lead at first, and that one too is going to be inside for a ball. There are relationships between the Indians and the Orioles as far as players and coaches are concerned. Wayne Kirby, the Orioles first base coach, was with the Cleveland Indians and their development staff 2002 to 2005, and he played with the Indians for 6 seasons, 91-96. Rick Adair, 2-year pitching coach, 92-93 with this ball club from Cleveland. And Einer Diaz was with the Indians 7 years, caught 454 games, had a .259 average, 15 home runs, while a member of the Indians and working behind the plate. And then you got T.J. McFarland, the Rule 5 pick from the Indians.
There you go.
That the Orioles have certainly welcomed and has been a big part of the bullpen for the O's. 2-1 delivery on the way. Make it 2-2.
Well, there you go. Can't find the fastball command. Drops a couple sliders in there to Gomes. This one kind of a mistake though. Up in the zone, living kind of dangerously with that pitch. Certainly back in the count to his favor.
Orioles looking for another double play off the bat of Gomes, and that will be fouled away. So Gomes holds the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Gomes started AAA ball. He's been back on the roster a couple of times with the Indians. He's their backup catcher for Carlos Santana. 2-2 delivery on the way down to third and foul. So Gomes working Jason Hamill here in the 7th inning with 1 down and 1 on.
Couple good fastballs, so back to back. A nice one away at 94, and that fastball had great sinking life down and in to Gomes.
This will be pitch number 7 of this at bat to Gomes. Here's the 2-2 delivery to him, and it'll go full. Now do you run the guy at first?
No, you don't run Jason Giambi. I don't think they're going to run Jason Giambi.
If he strikes out, you got a double play.
You sure do.
3 ball, 2 strike count. Runner not going, and he walked him. And with the pitches up a little bit and only the second walk surrendered, are we looking at a Jason Hamill whose tank may be getting close to the E mark?
Yeah, possibly right up over 100 pitches right now. And he's had great command. This is the first hitter really where he's lost a couple pitches up in the zone. And he's showing a little bit of frustration. Rick Adair will come out, have a little talk with him, try to settle him down, try to get through this inning here.
Orioles left-hander Brian Mattis getting ready to throw in the bullpen. I want to congratulate, while we have a moment, a couple of players from the Orioles organizations going to the All-Star Futures game. From Double-A Bowie, Henry Urruta is going to go, and from Class A Frederick, Eduardo Rodriguez. They will represent the Orioles and on the World team for the 2013 Futures game at Citi Field on the 14th of July.
That's great stuff there. I mean, this organization getting stronger and stronger, and it's great to see some young players getting recognized in that classic game.
Here is Chisenhall. 2 on and 1 out. And he'll go after the first pitch and foul it back. Chisenhall's had a single and he has grounded out. He's got a 4-game hit streak now. A couple of hits in this series in 6 at bats. And obviously a big moment for Hamill in this ball game to try and keep the score at 2-0. Chisenhall will take the pitch outside for a ball. Chisenhall with runners in scoring position, only $1.85 on the year. Sure haven't been many chances in this game. The Indians have left 2. Orioles have left 1. 1 ball, 1 strike count. Remember, Giambi, the lead runner, not fleet of foot. And the pitch will be taken inside. And it indeed does look like Hamill's close to the end. 2 ball, 1 strike count. It's Stubbs, the number 9 hitter, waiting on deck, but he's been hitting the ball. Here's the 2-1 delivery to him. Ground ball down to first base. Play will go to the bag. So Davis gets the out on Chisenhall. Moves the runners up. Giambi goes to third. Yan Gomes goes down to second base. There are, however, 2 away here. So Hamill with a chance to get out of the inning with Stubbs coming up.
Well, that was a nice job by Hamill. Executed a great pitch, almost too good. Sawed him off. Chisenhall just enough to where they couldn't get a double play on the ground ball.
0 for 2 runners in scoring position. The Indians now have 2 in scoring position. 2 down and foul the other way. So key third out here in the top of the 7th inning. Hamill retired the first 10 hitters faced before he hit Cabrera, and Kipnis delivered the home run the next batter. He's had 1 double play to get rid of a leadoff walk in the game. Strike taken. Only time runners left on in the 5th inning. Runners at first and second for the Indians in that game. 18,082. 18,082 seeing a great ball game, and right now roaring for a strikeout for Hamill. 0-2 delivery down the line. Nick Markakis going over foul territory and out of play.
Well, velocity wise, Jason Hamill still has plenty in the tank. Still getting that fastball up in the mid 90s, working 93, 94 miles an hour. Good movement down in the zone. Certainly have to be careful once again up in the zone.
Runners off second and third. The 0-2 delivery, and he got him inside corner. Hamill gets his 5th strikeout. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. 2 left in scoring position. 7th inning stretch time at Camden Yards. Indians 2 and the Orioles nothing. Time brought to you by Miller Lite. Fourth inning, Manny Machado. Remember, Kazmir's pitching a no-hitter. How close? Looked like he was safe.
It did look like he was safe, but Manny Machado very fortunate to not come out of there with an injury. I mean, you can understand that point in the ball game where the competitiveness tells you, hey, I want to beat this out, and he does whatever he can to try to get in there safely. But I think it only takes one time for a base runner to learn that there is a higher risk of injury when you go in head first at first base. And I don't think Manny's going to do that anytime soon. I think every player has done that. I mean, you sniff out a base hit and you want to get there and you think it's faster diving in, and it's actually not, and the risk of injury goes up.
And had he been called safe, it would have been the only hit the Orioles have in the game. Instead, he was called out. They don't have a hit. And we're going to the bottom of the seventh inning. Machado, Jones, and Davis due up. Just a 2-0 lead for the Indians. Machado also has popped out in addition to that play at first base. Scott Kazmir has walked one. Matt Wieters, he has struck out 4. 64 pitches thrown. 1-0 delivery. Tailed that one away from him. 1 ball and 1 strike. Lowest hit ball game for Scott Kazmir this year is 4, but it was a ball game he worked only 2 2/3 innings against Washington. Down to third. There's the first Orioles hit. Machado will make the turn, and it's got to be a Machado double. And it is. And the Orioles get a runner on with a base hit here in the 7th.
He's unbelievable. He's finding a way. It's a pretty good fastball in the inner third, and Manny Machado pulls those hands in tight to the body and just spanks this one down the left field line. And what do you know, another double for Manny Machado, leading the league.
So the Orioles break the no-hitter and get the potential tying run to the plate. Machado here in the 7th inning gets to Kazmir, and a no-doubter down the line at third. Major league leader in doubles. Jones has struck out and grounded out. And a swing and a miss. Adam Jones, 3-game hit streak. He has 1 hit in 6 at-bats lifetime off Scott Kazmir. See the .299 number overall for him. Machado being held at second base by Kipnis, the second baseman. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Jones off the fist, back into the screen. Will it be another one of these ball games? The Orioles, the late inning heroics, extraordinary. You see what they've done 7th inning and later.
Yeah, batting average .270 first in Major League. Home runs first at 34. Runs first 134. Hits .241. Extra base hits 88. All first in all of Major League Baseball. Amazing numbers for this Orioles offense.
A late inning ball club, the Orioles, and trying to do it again in this game. And that ball off the end of the bat, out in front of it. Shortstop Cabrera's there, and he's got it, and Jones is retired. 1 away here in the 7th inning. In the bullpen, that's Cody Allen for the Indians. Well, here we go again. Chris Davis. Doesn't it always seem as though he's the one, fortunately for the Orioles, who ends up at the plate in these situations? 1 down, runner on. He has struck out and grounded out. And a big swing and a miss. The Orioles got 5 runs on 3 hits in the 7th inning in the ballgame last night. Jones hit by a pitch, and Davis followed it with his Major League leading 28th home run of the year. Now he's got Machado on at second base and 1 away.
Well, there's really no let up in this Orioles offense. Pitcher has to have complete focus.
Gets away, blocked, and an interference call. So he's going to make third base one way or the other. Second base umpire Scott Berry signaling interference as the throw was made. It got away towards center field, and Cabrera stayed right with Machado, trying to prevent him from moving up.
Yeah, pretty aggressive play, maybe over aggressive. Casimir throws this ball down in the dirt, and you see Manny as he tries to get up. Cabrera cuts him off, and that's where you get the interference call right there. A little contact.
The arrow will be charged on the throw, and Davis a swing and a miss. Strike two. Now all of the ways you can score from third come into play here. The infield will stay back. This 2-0 ball game, not wanting to give Davis the extra room. Kipnis is way out in right field, the second baseman. They do keep Cabrera, however, on the shortstop side of second base. Davis will put it up in the air. It's enough to get a run in. Brantley's in left field. He'll put it away. Here's the tag, and Machado will score, and it's a one-run ball game. And for the moment, at least, that error really mattered.
Sure did. I mean, Chris Davis got pitched pretty tough, hard slider to start him off with. Real aggressive there. Then the high heat chases up and out of the zone, but he gets the job done. This slider stays over the plate, gets it deep enough. Manny Machado scoring easily on the sac fly.
So the Orioles make it a 2-1 ball game. Chris Davis picking up the RBI. Now here's Wieters, who has walked and grounded out. 2 down, and the bases are empty. For Chris Davis, now 73 runs batted in. Miguel Cabrera had 77 starting the day in first place. Davis in second in RBIs. Cabrera's added at least one RBI because he's had a home run. Had a home run today for the Tigers. Here's the 1-1 delivery on the way, and a fastball at 94 that goes by him, and a 1-2 count.
Oh, Matt kind of wincing on his shoulder there as he tried to get to that inside fastball.
Casimir came in with a no-hitter working into the inning. Orioles have added a hit and a run. 1-2 delivery on the way, foul back. Casimir ready, and the 1-2 delivery. Wieters will take it outside for a ball.
Wieters trying to get to a couple fastballs inside, and after this swing you see him kind of flinch a little bit, that left shoulder, and then kind of work it out a little bit.
And he's going to work this one out to left field, way back of the wall, and caught. Brantley's got it. He got around on it and just missed. The Orioles get a run on one hit. Davis the RBI, and it is a 2-1 ball game. Machado the only hit off Casimir.
Orioles He was in command of his fastball and off-speed pitches. Nice fastball there to Brantley. Gets Jason Giambi swinging on a fastball, but look at that big bender locking up Nick Swisher. Another front door breaking ball to get Stubbs. They got to feel good about Jason Hamill's performance tonight in his last outing as well. 7 strong innings, just the 4 hits, 2 earned runs. Kipnis with that 2-run home run. Couple walks, 5 strikeouts, 108 pitches for Jason Hamill. Gives way to Brian Mattis. This will be his 36th appearance. 4.06 earned run average, 27 punch-outs to 8 base on balls. And a great job for the Orioles out of the pen. Look at the lefties, 145 off Brian Mattis.
And with Jason Hamill getting the 7 innings in, as Chris Tillman did last night, the Orioles now have had 11 times where the starter has gone 7 or more innings, and 2 in a row here. Oh, great finish to this one coming as we go to the 8th inning in a 1-run ball game. And foul back by Bourne. Bourne the 0 for 3 in this game, 1 for 13 in the series. Bourne hitting at .296. Then you have Cabrera and Kipnis, the top of the order, up against Brian Mattis. 0-1 delivery. Bourne will take it. It's there for a strike.
Ooh, nice breaking ball right there from Brian Mattis. See Bourne kind of bailing away, and that drops itself right over the heart of the plate.
Bourne a 1 for 4 off the Orioles left-hander. 0-2 delivery, and that will be fouled away. Two-strike count on Michael Bourne. Oh, 2 count. 0-2 delivery, and that'll be taken down low. 1 ball, 2-strike count. You are at the manufacturer run stage of this ball game. Any way you can get one.
You sure are. You try to get a guy on base, and of course, got to be careful at the top of this Indians order. Bourne, great speed.
1-2 delivery taken, and a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Bourne.
It was supposed to be a blowout ball game, wasn't it?
Yes. That's what we said. We said it was.
Right.
That's what the baseball gods do. They give you the numbers and then say, watch this. You had 2 pitchers who gave up home runs, fly ball pitchers. Manny Machado only hit 7th inning against Kazmir. And Hamill with the tremendous 7 innings, a couple of walks and 5 strikeouts. Bourne battling here. Pretty good contact hitter. He has struck out 56 times. He's drawn only 15 walks. So he does not help his speed cause with the base on balls. He gets on via contact, and he's been around 300 all year. And this time he's going back.
And Brian Mattis with a real effective breaking ball. A good look at it here. 85 miles an hour. Just drops off the table. Bourne just swinging through this one.
So Mattis will face Cabrera. Asdrubal Cabrera, the switch hitter, hit by a pitch, scored on the homer by Kipnis. 0 for 2 at the plate. The strikeout, ground ball out. 1 down, base is empty, and the pitch misses for a ball. Cabrera's had a 1 for 8 lifetime against the Orioles left-hander. .270 off left-handers this season for Cabrera. 1-0 delivery by Mattis, and that's down low, 2-0.
Trying to get him to bite on a couple good breaking balls down at the bottom of the zone, but Cabrera, even with the time off on the DL, able to lay off a couple of pretty good pitches.
Ball club had 9 wins and 10 losses while Cabrera was out on the DL. 2-0 delivery on the way, and that's going to be into right center field for a base hit. Jones over to get it. Cabrera, a 1-out single here in the 8th inning. Time to text in your vote for the AT&T Player of the Game. Here are the candidates tonight. Jason Hamill, a great start. 2 runs, 4 hits, 7 innings. Scott Kazmir, a no-hitter through 6. 1 hit off him in the ball game. And Kipnis, who's delivered the home run, 2 RBIs. That's given the Indians the lead. Text in your vote, A, B, or C, 31826. Kipnis hitting .316 against left-handers. One down. Home run number 11 in the 4th inning. Now has an 8-game hit streak. Takes the strike. Right-hander Tommy Hunter up for the Orioles.
The beauty of starting pitchers getting deep into ball games, Buck Showalter can match up a little better when it's a tight one at the end.
Kipnis continues to run his streak of games getting on base. He's reached now in 28 straight. 3rd longest streak in the majors right now of reaching base safely. 1 ball, 1 strike count. And a swing and a miss as Mattis got that one where he wanted it down and away. 1-2.
Nice hard slider. Really been an effective pitch for Brian Mattis. He's been able to locate his fastball well, and he's got great velocity with it in the low 90s. He throws that hard slider. He gets a lot of swing and misses with that pitch.
1-2 delivery on the way. And a miss outside. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Kipnis. The crowds had a great ball game to watch and a lot left to come. Terry Francona and Buck Showalter were looking to get their matchups here as they can do it in the final couple of innings. Inside by Mattis. So the count goes to 3-2, only 1 away. Cabrera on at first base, looking over to 3rd. See whether or not they want him running here or not. Nick Sarbaugh talking to him. First base coach Brad Mills the signs from 3rd. 3 ball, 2 strike count. Mattis will step off. Three, 2, 1 down. Runner not going, and he walked it. So runners on at first and second, 1 away. Are we headed to one of those extras? We open up our Major League notebook and take a look. Extra innings here in the month of June are piling up. There have been 39 extra inning games this June since 1998. The record is 44 games in June going into extra innings. Rockies and Reds, 12 extra inning games have been played, the most in the majors. The Diamondbacks have the lead in wins. They are 8-2 in extra inning games, and these Indians in extra inning ball games have a batting average of .500. They've gone 10 for 20, and they're 5-0 in extra inning ball games.
Wow.
The Indians are.
I know the Orioles had great success in extra inning ball games last year. Certainly one of the keys to their victories.
Here is Swisher in a big at bat, and he will take the pitch for a strike. Arizona, with that 8-2 extra inning record, as you might expect, leads the majors with 17 extra inning runs. There is a ball club people are starting to believe in. They lost to the Nationals 3-2 today. And a check swing. Swisher. They want to look at first base. Will Little down there.
And Swisher looked like he went with the front side, but kept that bat head back. See his hips explode through. Strong enough to keep the bat head from going out across the plate.
Indians are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They've left 4 on base, 2 on, 1 down here. Swisher will take that one inside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Pedro Strop and Hunter now up in the bullpen. Brantley waiting on deck. Here's the 2-1 delivery, and Swisher up the middle, knocked down. Brian Mattis, there's one relay, and he still got him. Outstanding play by Casilla, who was getting tripped up on the slide by Kipnis, but he was able to keep his balance and still able to turn 2. Watch the play. Brian Mattis first, a nice play. Then you see he had trouble getting it out of the glove, guns it over. We go to the bottom half of the 8th inning. with the trainer and manager out talking to him. Wow, he's done. So Scott Kazmir is going to leave the ball game going to the bottom of the 8th inning with a physical problem. Leaves having surrendered just 1 hit and 1 run in the ball game. So now the Indians have to turn to their bullpen. And crew chief Ted Barrett. There is Scott Kazmir sitting without the hat on there on the bench. We were watching him just kind of moving around, stretching as though something was wrong. And boy, Buck's getting into it now with Barrett. One of the problems is they've had somebody warming up with the bullpen, but nobody had come out onto the mound, delaying the game. And Showalter really into it with Ted Barrett, the home plate umpire. Smith stayed out in the bullpen, throwing off the bullpen mound. When you have an injury resulting in a pitching change, the pitcher gets as many warm-ups as he needs. And it looked like, Mike, Terry Francona knew something might be wrong when Kazmir went back out, because he seemed to be ready to go out to get him after he'd thrown a couple of warm-ups.
Oh, yeah, it didn't take him long to come out of the dugout. And you see him right there kind of stretching his side a little bit, so maybe he had gone in after that last inning and said, hey, he's feeling a little stiff, and he thought maybe it could loosen up. And certainly Terry Francona must have thought differently. You see him rubbing his back. You saw Steve Johnson go down with an oblique. Scott Kazmir, though, he threw exceptionally well through this ball game. 7 innings, just the 1 hit. Very efficient with the 78 pitches thrown, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. So I guess in a way, Orioles happy to see him go. But pretty interesting turn of events here. Now kind of putting this Orioles offense in a stall pattern. Joe Smith coming in relief. This will be his 31st appearance. A 1.65 earned run average, 28 strikeouts, just 8 base on balls. Look at the opponent batting average, 191. Lefties 208 and righties just 174. And he gives you that sidearm look coming out of the bullpen. Has a good fastball, 2-seamer that he throws in the low 90s. Also a 4-seamer, but a slider to go along with it. So pretty much just a 2-pitch pitcher, but very effective, much like Darren O'Day with that sidearm approach.
Let's take a look at our Infinity Do-Ups, brought to you by Infinity. For the Orioles, Hardy, McLeod, and Valencia. You see their numbers this season with the batting average and home runs all up there. Valencia the DH in this ball game. Scott Kazmir's had a history of arm and back problems. In fact, it was the lower back strain that ultimately led to his release by the Angels. But that was back in 2011 when he pitched only 1 game for him. And whether that's a problem now, we'll have to wait to find out. But he didn't go to the training room.
Yeah, it didn't look like he was he was smiling over there with his Most of the guys from the rotation.
So the Orioles down by 1, batting in the 8th inning, J.J. Hardy. Hardy has popped out and grounded out, a 1 for 9 in the series. Taking on Smith. 2, 5, and 1 for the Indians. They've left 5. The Orioles 1, 1, and 0, and have left 1. It's going to be a tough play. Long throw. Chisenhall double pumps and won't get him. Couldn't be handled that time by Swisher. Might not have mattered anyway, but Hardy's on with an infield hit.
Chisenhall showing some range, going deep. Swisher unable to pick him up on the other end. Take a look at him way back on that outfield grass. Couple extra steps though, maybe too much time. J.J. Hardy getting down the line. Yeah, Swisher picks that. It might have been an out.
It is a base hit for Hardy. Orioles get their second hit of the ball game and a leadoff single here in the 8th inning. That will bring up Nate McLouth, 0 for 2 in the ball game. Smith with the sidearm delivery outside for a ball. So the Orioles trying to rally it here in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Hardy with the lead off first base. Ball put up in the air by McLouth. Shortstop angle. Cabrera. 1 down. For every Orioles walk this season, Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield will contribute $50 to support the Y of Central Maryland's Fit and Fun program. 200 walks, $10,000. Care First Blue Cross Blue Shield encourages each of us to take that first step towards a healthier and more active lifestyle. With a right-hander on the mound, Chris Dickerson will come on for Valencia to be the DH.
Chris Dickerson's had some big hits for the Orioles. Good opportunity here for him. Tough side armor, but with J.J. Hardy at first, opens up a hole for him.
1 away. Dickerson will take the pitch, and it's up high for a ball. Boy, Chris this season, DH role, some outfield work, 4 home runs, a .264 batting average, 4 doubles. And he'll watch that pitch go outside. He is 2 for 5 as a pinch hitter. Smith 2-0 count. Dickerson will watch that one outside. So the count goes to 3-0 to Chris Dickerson. Garcia, the on-deck batter. Hardy with a leadoff single on at first base. And he will catch the outside corner. Continues to stay away with these pitches. Left-handers hitting .208 with 3 home runs against him. Right-handers only .174. No home runs off Smith.
Well, one thing Smith doesn't want to do is put J.J. Hardy out at second base, so he's going to have to come with a pitch here.
And he walked him. So Dickerson comes on, gets the walk. Kazmir surrendered 1 to Wieters. Smith now 1 to Dickerson. 2 on, 1 out.
Kazmir 7 strong innings, just the 1 walk and 1 base hit. Smith already given up base hit and a walk here in the 8th.
Well, the Orioles down by a score 2-1. Jim Johnson, their closer, getting ready. The Orioles can get a lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Garcia an 0 for 2 off Smith. One of the heroes of the ball game last night with the game-winning RBI. Coming on the 3-run homer, 7th inning. And he'll foul that one off. 0-1 count on Garcia. There's Kazmir, who pitched the no-hitter through 6. 1 strike delivery. Nasty pitch cut across the plate. 0-2.
Well, 2 strikes. Garcia going to try to fight to put this ball in play. Very tough to double up. And Dickerson at first base. Swisher playing well behind him. He's going to be on top of the second baseman, so it'll be a tough chance to turn 2.
He will foul that one back. It will stay at 2 strikes. Casilla in and out of the lineup at second base. Finger problem held him out for a while where he might have played more games. Only his 38th game in which he has played. He came in having only 74 at-bats on the season. So he's had to stay ready in other ways off the field. 0-2 the count. Hardy at second base. Dickerson on at first. And ball's lofted into left field. It's going to be a base hit. He'll hold the runner at third. Brantley will get it in. And the Orioles have loaded the bases with 1 down.
Well, that's a good hold right there by Bobby Dickerson. Brantley very quick out in left field. He was on top of that ball in a hurry. Great job by Casilla battling to get the base hit. But you see Brantley just in back of shortstop. J.J. Hardy no chance of scoring on that play.
Nice piece of hitting by Casilla. Just took that ball the other way. Gets the base hit. And the Orioles with a potential tying run at third. Go ahead run at second. And here's Nick Markakis batting at the top of the order. Bases loaded and 1 out. And it'll be inside.
And that's a sweeping slider right there. That ball broke about 6 feet across the right-hander's batter's box. Almost caught Nick Markakis in the shin.
Nick is 3 for 3 with the bases loaded this year. 1 double and 7 RBIs. And a chopper. It's going to get it tied up. There's one. Relay. There is none. Markakis gets the RBI, and this ball game is at 2-2.
Nice job by Casilla going in hard at second base. The chopper, it would have been a tough turn anyway, but here's a good look at Casilla. Watch how aggressive he goes into Cabrera, trying to kick him out of there, get a piece. Smith a little upset, unable to get that double play ball. He thinks he's got one for sure.
So the Orioles get it tied up as Nick Markakis delivers RBI number 41. Dickerson at third base, Markakis at first. Now there are 2 down. Manny Machado going for the go-ahead RBI. And the pitch is outside for a ball. Machado picking up the first hit, 7th inning with the double that broke up the no-hitter by Kazmir. And the Manny chant. One-0 count, 2 away. And that will be on the inside corner for a strike. Machado with the 36 doubles, leading the majors, 32 multi-hit games leading the American League, and second only to Chris Davis in extra base hits. Cody Allen, Rich Hill, bullpen for the Indians. And the Orioles do it again. The delivery to Machado will be outside. 2-1.
Smith really struggling through this inning. Obviously a couple base hits, a base on ball. With Dickerson over at third base, put some pressure on him.
Machado in the air to left field. It is back near the wall. Off the middle of the wall. Orioles will get the lead. Machado is going to go back to first base. A go-ahead RBI single, 3-2 O's.
Another great clutch hit by Manny Machado. This two-seamer staying on that inner third. He's already got a double, but this is a big-time situation. He hammers this ball off the left field wall. Dickerson able to score easily. They give the Orioles the lead, 3-2.
A 2-run 8th inning, and the Orioles with 3 runs on 4 hits have taken the lead. Another multi-hit game in the summer of Machado here at Camden Yards. First and third, 2 down. And the ball will be popped up in the air by Jones. Second base, Kipnis back. He's got it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll take your seatbelts, make sure they are secure, tightly wrapped around your midsection. Here comes Johnson. We go to the 9th. Masson brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com and by your local BMW Center. Gary Thorne, Mike Bordick with you here at Camden Yards, and here we go again. The Orioles have a 3-2 lead. We go to the 9th inning, and another chance for Jim Johnson.
Yeah, Jim Johnson certainly closing them out this season. 27 saves to lead all of Major League Baseball. His last 14 games, he has been dominant. .68 earned run average in 13 1/3 innings pitched. 12 saves in 12 opportunities, and he is in search of his 100th career save right now. The opponent batting average .243. Lefties and righties very similar.
99 careers saved, 4th most Orioles history behind Greg Olson, Tippy Martinez, and Stu Miller. And here we go. The pitch will be taken up high for a ball. Brantley's up. It'll be Brantley, Giambi, and Yan Gomes, the catcher, due up here in the top of the 9th inning as the Orioles look to win their 4th ball game where they have trailed after 7 innings. They are 3-27 in those games. Last night they came back, getting it done with 5 runs in the 7th inning to get the win. Tonight they didn't have a hit until the 7th inning on the double by Machado, who would score to make it 2-1. Davis sac fly, and then the 2 runs in the 8th inning on 3 hits. RBIs going to Markakis and Machado. Now Jim Johnson, 3-0 on Brantley. Brantley with the 0 for 3 in the ball game and a 2 for 10 in the series. And he's on 4 pitches in a row. And the potential tying run is on at first base. Let's update you on the voting for the AT&T Player of the Game. Jason Hamill on top at this moment. You still have time to cast your vote. A, B, or C, 31826. Results in the O's Extra post-game show. Johnson picking up the save in the ball game last night. Got a little help from his D. He gave up a leadoff walk to Santana in the 9th inning last night. Gives up leadoff walk to Brantley in the 9th inning of this one. That ball is tagged in the air to left center field. Jones going back. McLeod both there. And the ball will bounce off the bottom of the wall. Runner had to delay going to third. Brantley will get there. It's a double for Giambi. And the Indians get runners at second and third with nobody out.
Well, you think after 4 straight balls that Jason Giambi might be taking. Johnson thinking that as well, but he jumps on this elevated fastball, driving it off the wall in left center. McLeod, good effort, nice backup by Adam Jones.
Aviles will come on to be the pinch runner, on for Giambi. And the Indians threatening to get not only tied, but the lead back in this game. And Carlos Santana will be the pinch hitter. Their starting catcher, who had the night off as a starter, will come on for Yan Gomes, who did the catching in this ball game. There are the numbers that he has put up season end series. So Santana with 2 in scoring position. They're going to walk him to load the bases. Chisenhall on deck. So the Orioles with a 3-2 lead, and the Indians responding with the walk to Brantley and the double by Giambi. Tommy Hunter back up in the bullpen for the Orioles. Chisenhall, their third baseman, 1 for 3, waiting on deck.
All Jim Johnson's got to do is make a little adjustment, get that ball down in the zone, because he has great movement, great sink on his fastball. And we've seen hitters tap that ball out in front of the plate. That's why Buck Showalter loaded the bases. Get that force at home, and then keep that double play in order if they don't get a double play after the force.
You saw him signaling to third and first on a ball hit to them to come home. They'll stay back at second and short. Double play depth. And here's Lonnie Chisenhall. So bases loaded, 9th inning, nobody out. Chisenhall a single. There are the base runners. Brantley, Aviles the pinch runner, Santana, and the pitch is taken for a strike. Chisenhall with a 1 for 3 off Jim Johnson. Delivery to him is in the dirt. Great stop by Wieters. That'll hold Brantley at third.
Yeah, that's a great defensive play right there by Matt Wieters. Tough block. The ball was spiked by Johnson.
One ball, 1 strike coming. Chisenhall ground ball towards second base. Got to go 1. Relay over to first. Will not be in time. And this ball game is tied up. So Brantley will score after picking up the leadoff walk. Chisenhall will pick up the RBI on the fielder's choice. Jim Johnson a blown save, and this ball game is 3-3 in the 9th inning.
Well, got the ground ball, obviously, with that infield back playing double play depth. Buck Showalter thinking his team's going to be able to score a run in the 9th, but unable to turn the double play. A lot of speed right there from Chisenhall.
So the Indians come right back and answer, and still only 1 down. And here is Drew Stubbs, 1 for 3 in the ball game. Chisenhall back to first base. Stubbs with an 0 for 2 off Jim Johnson. And the battle's engaged. 6 hits now for the Indians, 4 for the Orioles, but 3 runs apiece. Top of the 9th. And the pitch is on the outside corner for a strike. For Jim Johnson, second blown save against the Indians. He is 5 out of 7 in his career against Cleveland in save situations. And that will break that latest streak we showed you. 0-1 the count. And outside for a ball. Brian Mattis came on and worked an inning. Gave up a single and a walk and had a strikeout. Hamill, a couple of runs, 4 hits over 7. This game now in the hands of the bullpen. Bullpens. 1 ball, 1 strike. And Chisenhall easily back to the bag. Hunter and Patton now both up in the bullpen. Chisenhall's 12th RBI of the season has tied this game up and quieted the fans who were roaring when the Orioles got the lead in the bottom half of the 8th inning. The Indians have only come back and won 1 game where they have trailed after 8 innings. They are 1-34 this season, trailing after 8. One ball, 2 strike count on Stubbs. Aviles at third, Chisenhall at first. And it'll stay 1-2.
Well, Jim Johnson definitely 1 pitch away from getting that ground ball double play and out of the inning. Give his offense a chance to win the ball game in the 9th.
Weeder's checking in the dugout on whether they want to throw over, step off regarding the runner. And the pitch taken inside. 2 ball, 2 strike count on Stubbs. Top of the order, Bourne waiting on deck. Texas beat the Yankees tonight by a score of 8-5 in their ball game. Well, the woes for Andy Pettitte continue here in the month of June. 2-2. And a ground to third base. Manny Machado up. There's one. Relay to first. Not in time. Machado thought he might have had him that time, but not quite. Casilla got dumped out there at second base on the slide by Chisenhall.
Well, he did. Kind of a slow developing play. Machado with the quick release, though. But look at Chisenhall getting down there on top of Casilla, and Stubbs just flying down the line. He gets there by half a step easy.
So another RBI. Stubbs gets it. Cleveland gets the lead. And that will be it for Jim Johnson. With a couple of runs scored here in the 9th inning, the Indians are back on top. It is a 4-3 ball game. Johnson out. And he has been real good. You see those last 6 ball games, 7 innings, no earned runs against him. Patton back to locating.
He sure is. I mean, great command of his slider. That's been a key. Certainly very tough to pick up on both lefties and righties. Throws across his body. And when he has command of his pitches, he can be very tough. See a 3.97 earned run average continuing to come down. 23 strikeouts, 13 base on balls. Opponent's average at 297.
So the Indians have made it work. We talk about manufacturing runs. A leadoff walk to Brantley, then the double by Giambi. Intentional pass was surrendered to Santana to load him up. Chisenhall fielder's choice RBI. Stubbs fielder's choice RBI. 2 runs in, 9th inning, and the Indians retake the lead at 4-3. Have a runner on at first base, 2 down, and Bourne, the leadoff batter at the plate. He is 0 for 4, 1 for 14 in the 3 games. Patton's pitch is outside for a ball. Bourne has only one at bat against Patton, 0 for 1. Short lead at first and the 1-0 delivery. Bourne will take it. Foul tipped it into the mitt. Bourne didn't think so. And the count goes to 1-1. Bourne has seen the average drop down here in this series, hitting at 295 now with the 1 hit and 14 at bats. Patton a little lob toss over to Davis. The Indians will get their closer back, as we talked about. Chris Perez, that strained right rotator cuff, is going to be back tomorrow, ready to pitch. They don't have him tonight, however. So we'll see what they do in the bottom half of the 9th inning with a lead in the ball game. One ball, 2 strike count, 2 down. Vinny Pastano with 4 saves, taking over that closer's role with Perez out. Patton, though, needs to get a 3rd out here in the 9th to get the Orioles back to the plate. And a swing and a miss, and he does. So Patton comes on to get the strikeout, but the Indians will pick up 2 runs on a hit here in the 9th inning. We go to the bottom of the 9th. 4-3 Indians.
Back with those extra post game. Bottom of the 9th coming up, and now the Orioles need to run the tie. Jim Johnson, his first blown save since May 26th.
For the Orioles, what a tough ball game this is. Scott Kazmir took a 1-hitter into the 8th inning, walked off before he started the inning. The Orioles came back and took the lead in that ball game on a Manny Machado off the top of the wall, a couple RBIs. So we're looking for the Orioles to get that run back and maybe one more in the 9th.
All right, see how it turns out. Back upstairs to Gary and Mike.
Jim and Rick will watch with us here as we see whether anybody can hold a lead in this ball game. The Orioles hoping not. As we go to the bottom half of the 9th inning, the Indians up by a score of 4-3, and their present closer on the mound.
Yeah, temporary for just one more day. Vinny Pastano in. This will be his 24th appearance. 22 strikeouts. He does have 4 saves and 4 chances. 241 batting average. See the righties just 171. Lefties, though, up there at 288. And he's pretty much a 2-pitch pitcher. Fastball and a slider. Works that fastball in the low 90s. But a pretty good slider with some quick late break.
Pastano got that 4th save in game 1 of the series. New battery for the Indians. Carlos Santana came on to pinch hit, will stay in and do the catching. Pastano in the first game worked an inning, had a walk, a strikeout, and a hit against him in the 9th, but was able to pick up the save in the 5-2 Cleveland win in game 1. Now the Orioles bat, bottom of the 9th inning, 1 to keep it going, 2 to win it. Chris Davis will lead it off. RBI sac fly, 0 for 2. Officially in the ball game. Johnson 2/3 of an inning, 2 runs, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 intentional. And the delivery to Davis, take it inside for a ball. All about the latter part of this game. Davis with a big cut. Indians got 2 runs in the 4th inning on the Kipnis home run. Casimir had the no-hitter through 6. Orioles finally got a hit, 7th inning. Manny Machado, he would score. Davis RBI. And then the Orioles came back in that 8th inning, got 2 runs on 3 hits off Joe Smith to take the lead, only to see it disappear in the 9th with the 2 runs scored by the Indians. And Davis swings over and through that one.
So Pastano now 3 sliders to Davis. That 1 fastball up and in. Maybe trying to pitch a little bit backwards here.
2-ball, 2-strike delivery, and that is fouled off by Chris Davis. Davis an 0 for 1 against Pastano. 1-run ball games. The Indians have done well this year. They're 14-7. Orioles are 11-10 in 1-run ball games. 2-2 delivery on the way to Davis. And Chris works the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, good at bat here going for Chris Davis. Obviously, he wants to tie this ball game up, but certainly a great at bat to get on base would be huge for the Orioles as well.
3-2 delivery by Pastano, and he struck him out.
Now steady dose of sliders to Chris Davis, and this one down at the bottom of the zone. You see that late drop at the end, down and in to Chris Davis. Just with the big swing, just misses it out front.
So Pastano gets the first out. Here's Wieters, 0 for 2 and a walk in the game. And Matt takes the pitch down low for a ball. Wieters with the 0 for 3 off Pastano. Joe Smith waiting to see if he'll be a winner, even though he gave up the 2 runs on 3 hits in the bottom half of the 8th inning. Jim Johnson right now is the pitcher of record for the Orioles. 2-0 on Wieters. The way this game has gone, a long 2 outs away.
Sure has. I mean, this Orioles offense obviously never gives up. It could be very explosive.
2-0 count on Wieters. Outfield deep on him. That's on the inside corner. 2-1. Whatever the outcome, game 4 tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, 6:30 goes extra. Here's the 2-1 delivery on the way. 2-2.
Obviously a very effective pitch for Pastano. That slider, it shows itself up and out over the strike zone, and it does have some quick late break at the very end. Really good sharpness to that pitch.
Pastano delivers the 2-2, and Wieters is out. Kipnis there to get it. And there are 2 down in the bottom of the 9th inning. So Vinny Pastano after the save. J.J. Hardy coming up, a single, 1 for 3. Pastano had 5 total saves in his major league career coming into this season. Getting there this year already with the Indians. And Hardy will take the pitch. One 0 count. Five runs total scored since the 7th inning in this game. after we were wondering about a no-hitter again.
Okay.
Through 6 by Kazmir. Manny Machado breaking that up with a double in the 7th and scoring. 1-1 delivery on the way. That'll be outside. 2 ball, 1 strike count. Hardy trying to keep it going. McLouth waiting on deck. Two-one delivery. Hardy will take it up high. So he gets ahead. 3 ball, 1 strike count.
It's about finding a way to get on base. Put some pressure on him.
There's McLouth. Orioles tonight have not yet continued their home run streak of at least 1 home run in 13 consecutive ball games. 3-1 delivery on the way, and that's there. 3-2. Hardy against Pistano, just an 0 for 1. Here's the 3-2 delivery, and Hardy goes down swinging, and that is the ball game. So the Indians come back in the 9th inning with 2 runs and come away with a 4-3 win in the ball game. The victory will go to Joe Smith. Jim Johnson will take the loss. Pistano will pick up the save. And the Indians have taken 2 of the first 3. The finale tomorrow. Miguel Gonzalez will take the mound for the Orioles. Corey Kluber will be on the mound for the Indians. Our coverage 6:30 on MASN 2 HD O's Extra, presented by Geico, followed by our game action at 7. This has been a MASN presentation. Jim and Rick standing by O's Extra, presented by PNC. Coming right up. Our final here, the Indians 4, the Orioles 3. For Mike Bordick and our crew, I'm Gary Thorne. Adieu.